Hello, fellow cat and dog owners. This is Dr. Cola. Today, I'm going to demystify the theory behind how Purina Hills, a global food company, was able to launch weight-controlled food. The BCS, Body Condition Score, is a method that involves touching and visually assessing a cat or dog to select one of 9 levels. It is useful for differentiating between underweight, normal, and overweight, but it is a primitive method with limitations in accurately assessing body fat percentage. However, it is clear that pets that appear visually overweight or are determined to be overweight by BCS are at increased risk for obesity-related diseases such as fatty liver and arthritis and should be put on a diet. Purina and Hills have created a body fat percentage table using these BCS stages, which are based on a 1997 study showing a correlation between increasing BCS stages and increasing body fat percentage. This was done by comparing body fat percentage data from DXA scans of dogs and cats with their BCS stages. Hills also commissioned the University of Tennessee College of Veterinary Medicine to create a concept called the BFI, Body Fat Index. The BFI divides body fat percentage into bands based on BCS stages and assigns a score to each band. If you look at the table, you can see that the body fat index increases by 10 for each BCS, 20, 30, and 40. The same value increases by 10% for body fat percentage, 16, 25%, 26, 35%, and so on. You might wonder if the bands are arbitrary and if the study seems a bit flawed, but it is a very scientific study considering the reality of not being able to get a DXA on your pet. If the veterinarians at the clinic picked up a tape measure, they were following this study, which is not a BCS assessment, but rather involves measuring specific body parts and using equations to estimate body fat mass and body fat percentage. 83 dogs and 76 cats were scanned using DXA. The dogs were measured for weight, thorax, pelvis, head circumference, and hind leg length to create an equation and estimate body fat mass and body fat percentage. Cats had their body weight, head diameter, forelimb length, and forelimb circumference measured to create equations to estimate body fat mass and body fat percentage. When comparing DXA body fat mass and body fat percentage to the equation estimates in this study, 68% of the dogs, 56 out of 83, had body fat mass, and 67% of the dogs, 56 out of 83, had body fat percentage within 10% of their DXA values. For cats, 72%, 55 out of 76 of the body fat masses, fell within 10% of the DXA values. While this is a groundbreaking method that is highly accurate because the equation's body fat percentage for dogs is close to the actual imaging results, it does not include correlations for cats. Cat owners should be mindful of double-checking their veterinarian's assessment of their cat's body fat percentage. The equations are too complex for owners to utilize on their own, so when I get a chance, I'll try to put them into a Google Doc or simple formula to share. This study goes a step further and considers user convenience. To make it easier for owners, they created a concept called the Body Fat Index, BFI, which lists and categorizes the physical characteristics of dogs and cats in each body fat percentage band. To give you an example, dogs and cats in the 26-35% body fat range would be given a score of 30. A dog or cat that scores a BFI of 30 would be described as having ribs that are hard to see but palpable, a textured abdomen, and moderate tail fat. While this is a much more accurate classification than the traditional BCS, it was created by 6 veterinarians for dogs and 2 veterinarians for cats. However, there is still the obvious problem of different people making different assessments. In fact, when comparing the BFI to the actual value of the DXA, 53% of the dogs and 13% of the cats fell within 10% of the DXA value. This is much less accurate than the equation used by veterinarians at the veterinary clinic to estimate body fat percentage. While global pet food companies have created disease-based indices to supplement BCS, we wanted to highlight the Tennessee College of Veterinary Medicine's equation derivation because it is the most accurate available now. However, while the study's body fat estimates are accurate, there are obvious limitations. 67% of dogs and 13% of cats had an actual body fat percentage correlation, and the study's sample size of fewer than 100 puppies and cats makes it questionable whether the results are applicable across ages and breeds. The reason why pet food companies are proposing these non-faunal or disease-based indices to complement BCS is that only by properly assessing whether a pet is underweight or overweight can the next step be determined: the calories and amount of food needed to control weight. While a DXA or in-body scan is the best way to do this, there are some at-home tests that you can do with your pet that combine BFI and BCS. I'll include a link in the description. According to Purina research, keeping your dog lean can extend their healthy life by up to 15%. At a time when obesity rates are approaching 60%, I hope that owners will feel empowered to measure their dogs and cats without the need for veterinary advice or assistance. This was Dr. Kola. Thank you.